What's up, guys? King Edge here, and I'd like to discuss a topic that I think is worth discussing. It is in regards to BlazBlue Central Fiction. As a lot of you, probably all of you that are fans have heard by now, it is not at any point confirmed to be getting an English dub at this release at the 1st of November or anytime after. But Axis Games has stated that they want to hear from the fans, and they're basically giving us a glimmer of hope that if we speak up enough about it, we can get the English dub. Now, why I think this is worth talking about, for one thing, was Axis' method of delivering us this news. It wasn't just us that learned about the no English dub from Axis Games' Twitter page. It was also the only way the English voice actors were able to find out. Like, for example, Ragna the Blood Edge's voice actor. Let me just pull him up here. Patrick Sates, the voice actor for Ragna the Blood Edge in the English dub, learned the same way that the rest of us did via Twitter that there would be no English dub, and he has voiced his disappointment for this on Facebook already. I'll have a link to his Facebook page so you can read it for yourself. It's actually really heartbreaking. And it's made me respect the man as a person and a voice actor. He really cares about the roles he does, it seems. Especially in the case of Ragna the Blood Edge, and that's why I feel this is important to talk about. Because he does. BlazBlue Central Fiction, coming out the 1st of November, not getting an English dub, I feel is an atrocity for a couple of reasons. First off, the BlazBlue series has had an English dub since the very beginning, back in, I think it was 2008. Now, I haven't been playing the games for that long. In fact, I only heard about it a year or two ago, and I decided to pick up BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma Extend for Xbox One, and I fell in love with the game thanks to its English dub and all the content it provided that still had the dub, because I've seen games before that they have a dub for the main story, but when it comes to like side stuff, the voices are in Japanese. I can't remember what games exactly, but I have seen that happen. But BlazBlue had English voice acting for every little thing. The gag reels, the extend stories, extend gags. Even the Teach Me Miss Lychee shorts, which are hilarious. Definitely need to watch those. And it was a way for me to engulf myself in this universe and fall in love with its characters, especially Hakumen and Jin Kisaragi, who are my personal favorites, both voiced by David Vincent, who is also supporting BlazBlue Central Fiction getting an English dub. So is, I believe, the voice for Noel Vermillion, whose name I have forgotten. If one of you knows, please write it down in the comments. But I've been thinking on this since last night, because I already knew about this news too, but at the time I didn't have a way to record anything, so that's why I've waited so long to talk about it. And just yesterday I was reading so much, and I learned about Patrick Sates' comments on it, and honestly, it got me really shaken up. I had trouble sleeping last night because of it, and that's why I feel this needs to be talked about. I need to get this off my chest. BlazBlue has had a dub since its first game, Calamity Trigger, back in 2008, onto Continuum Shift Extend, and Chrono Phantasma and Chrono Phantasma Extend. Now, for a Japanese game to be released in the US not having English voiceovers, I guess it's nothing new. A lot of the Japanese games I play do have dubs. Like, I played like the Naruto games, the Dragon Ball games. I've never really played that many that don't actually have English voiceovers, but I do have the BlazBlue game on my phone, and honestly, I didn't expect an English voice for that. It's just a phone game. I don't think it matters that much for that. But BlazBlue Central Fiction is reportedly going to be the last game in the BlazBlue series. Big dramatic finish, Axis Games, one of the devs has even said they don't intend to release an extend, and that they feel that the BlazBlue ending is perfect. So for something with that much hype to not be getting an English dub, I think is a crying shame. I'm a huge fan of BlazBlue now, and I know a lot of people who are too, and basically it needs to happen, and there is a way that we can do it, or at least a way that we can set the way for the possibility. Change.org, if you don't know, is a website for signing petitions or making petitions, and there's a petition up. It'll be in the description below, the link to the petition. There's a petition out right now to get the English dub, and it is already almost to 5,000 followers. It's at 4,600 plus right now. Patrick Sates and David Vincent have both signed it. I signed it just I signed it about a half an hour ago from the time I'm recording this. And it's important to a lot of us, I feel, because a lot of us played the game with the English dubs. There's all these Japanese fanatics who don't even understand how to speak Japanese. They're like, oh, the sub is so much better. I'm happy BlazBlue Central Fiction isn't getting its dub because the dub is awful. I was reading the comments on one of the videos, and some guy is just saying, I got what I wanted, there's no dub. So this guy rightfully calls him on his bull crap, and he's just like, okay, I don't get it. What's wrong with having the dub? The BlazBlue games have always had 2 voice releases for the games, English and Japanese. And the guy says, oh, well, the game set the English voices as default. And I have to go in there and I have to change it to Japanese. Boo-hoo! Fucking babies. It's a North American release. You would expect the English dub to be done as the default for the American version of the game. It'd be weird if they didn't. I think they did something similar in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition for the Japanese release. They had the dual voices, actually, I believe, but the Japanese voices were set as the default, but you could switch it to the Japanese. So are the Japanese going to complain about that? No. We need the English voice as the default. I don't think they're that crazy about it as we are. Just because a game was released in Japan doesn't automatically make the English voices worse than the Japanese voices. All I've ever heard from it is complete gibberish. I typically won't watch a show or an anime if there's no English dub, because I can't stand just looking at the bottom of the screen trying to read the text. It breaks immersion for me. And BlazBlue has had a very fantastic dub track. I think the best was honestly in Chrono Phantasma, in particular regards to the voice of Hazama and Yuki Terumi. I think it got way better in Chrono Phantasma. If you don't know, it's the same guy that voiced Gin Ichimaru in Bleach. And I honestly thought that voice was just perfect. But anyway, BlazBlue is able to immerse me in its universe thanks to its English voiceovers, and it makes me feel for these characters more. And like I've read other people say, especially in in-game dialogue when you're fighting, the English voices matter because there are certain things that don't mean anything in Japan, like the character-specific dialogue, depending on who you choose to fight. First of all, not only is there an intro clip for certain characters where they speak to each other specifically. For example, Jin and Ragna, or Hakumen and Ragna, or Hakumen and Terumi, all have specific match-starting dialogue for each other. And sprinkled throughout are special little bits of dialogue that'll happen during certain circumstances in-game during fighting. For example, if Ragna slams Jin backward in Chrono Phantasma, Jin says, "Brother, how could you?" It's little things like that that make the English dub worth having. And again, if you don't want it, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you for that, but you, as well, don't have the right to judge us for wanting the English dub. You don't. I don't care what you say. And I feel it's important that BlazBlue Central Fiction, the final game in the franchise, with so much hype behind it, deserves its English voiceover, and I don't care how long it takes. If they end up deciding that our voices don't matter, and we're not getting a dub either way, I might pick up the game anyway, because I love BlazBlue and its franchise now, thanks to the dub. So I'm able to see past not having it, even though it's a big thing for me. I might still buy the game. I probably won't, but I might. If they decide to not give us the English dub, I still might buy the game anyway. But if they decide that they will in fact give us the English dub, I'm going to wait. I will not buy the game until the English dub comes out, and I will buy that in a heartbeat, because the dub matters that much to me, and it matters to the voice actors. At the very least, it matters to 3 voice actors. The big 3, as a matter of fact. It matters to the big 3 voice actors of the main 3 characters, Ragna the Blood Edge, Noel Vermillion, and Jin Kisaragi. The voice actors for these characters want the dub. They want to work on the dub for Central Fiction, the big finish. And for that reason, if nothing else, the dub matters. Patrick Sates, I don't know if you ever intend to watch this, but you have earned my respect as a voice actor for your work, first of all, as Loxus in Fairy Tail, and especially Ragna the Blood Edge in BlazBlue. You have knocked it out of the park as a voice actor in that. And honestly, I do believe it's your best work, and I do think it is a shame that you were cut from the game. You have earned my respect as a voice actor because of the way that you voiced your disappointment on the news. You spoke like BlazBlue was a series that mattered to you. And it's because it matters to you that it probably matters to a lot of us too. David Vincent, you are one of my favorite voice actors of all time. You voice my favorite anime character of all time. That's Gilgamesh. And your work as Jin Kisaragi and Hakumen also is fantastic. And I love it to death. And I am hoping to hear you guys in Central Fiction at some point in the future. Anyway, that's all I really have to say on the matter. Thanks for listening to my ramblings, and I'll see you guys later.